Why is your voice dying? What's going on? What's wrong?
I lost my voice one time, like I want to say it's now almost 2 weeks ago. Um, and then I lost it because I was singing really loud because I was having like a moment of like just being alone in the car screaming one of my favorite songs, kind of.
Mm.
But that was like a day before I also had um a shoot in which I was dying, so I had to scream on top of that. So it just never got better. And then, I just have to talk a lot. Like I don't get to stop talking. I don't yell at my children a lot, but like um I still have to continuously talk to them. And there's three of them, so the volume in general is just louder than normal. And so it's just not getting better. And it sucks because I'm like working on a song and I cannot record the vocals. It's been like 3 weeks. I can't record the vocals because my voice is just not there. Like the range isn't back.
What do you have to do to get the voice back? Like drink some hot water or some honey or something?
I do, yeah. I do a lot of teas. I do a lot of teas. I do a lot of honey. Now I have like a throat spray too that you like spray in and it's supposed to like help the vocal cords. It's not sure if I'm just not, I'm just not good enough with it. Like I'm just not doing it regularly enough or whatever,
Mm.
keeping up with it, or maybe. I don't know.
Eh, don't worry.
You.
It'll come back. You can get it back.
How are
Oh,
you doing?
how you been? Other than
Good,
that.
good. Tired. The time change has definitely messed up our schedules, so the kids are like off and but good. How are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good, I'm good. The time change messed me up too. I woke up late on Sunday. I couldn't go to church. I was like, oh damn, I'm already late. So
Man,
forget it. But other than that, been a busy week here and there, but it's all good.
all good things.
All good things. So kick us off, Marty.
Hi and welcome back to another episode of Movie Unboxing with Marty and Bola. We are a writer, director, and actor, and an actress and a writer. And each week we dive into a film to unbox how it was made and what makes it tick, talking about the movie from a filmmaker's perspective.
All right. And the movie that we chose to unbox today is Mary. Now, Mary
Mary.
came out last year at the end of 2024. It's on Netflix, directed by the DJ
DJ
Caruso.
Caruso.
Yeah, I mean he's not like a big type of director. He's done like a couple of TV shows here and there. He's just like your basic career director and stuff like that. He's just a
Yeah.
working director. That's just pretty much how to put it. He's done some episodes of some TV shows like Smallville, um, that kind of thing. Those
Hmm.
kind of television shows. Let me see. I think I saw something else here that he's done that might interest other people. Um, Taking Lives, Disturbia, I'm
Really?
Number Four, Triple X, Return of Xander Cage. So he's been around, but he's not somebody that's well known. He's
Right.
just your career director. It was written by Michael Hayes. I couldn't find much about him. I think he's also just your career writer. Just a just not anyone really known per se. He's just a career screenwriter and stuff like that. But the movie stars Noa Cohen. She's fairly new,
Hmm.
but it also stars the legendary Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
And a lot of all the actors in this movie
So
are not well known too.
I've recognized two faces.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't have known the names. I had to look it up, but I recognized two faces where I was like, I've seen this person before. Anna from the Temple is Susan Brown. She's the Septa in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah,
She
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
even dressed a little bit similar with the whole, because she's also at a temple. Like it makes sense. So she was like very familiar. I was like, I just know this face. And but she played such a positive and warm character as opposed to Septa that you almost kind of don't recognize her at the same
Yeah,
time, you
yeah.
know? And
Um,
then the guy who I was very excited to see the guy who played Lucifer. His name is Eamon Farren, and I know him because he is Cahir in The Witcher, and I absolutely love The Witcher. The first season was incredible, and he is there also sort of a bad guy. I mean, the story unfolds, but I don't think they even ever let them get there with the TV show. So I kind of trailed off there, but
Yeah, I'm not a Witcher
he has a good future. The actor has a I think has a future in him because he's very recognizable. He's very unique looking, so he's starting to kind of pick up more roles. I, for one, really, really enjoy those types of movies where the main characters are just not your average, oh, I've seen him in all these other things before. They're pretty young kids, I want to say, for us.
Yeah.
And they did amazing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, both Mary and Joseph, I thought did amazing.
So what did you think about the movie overall?
I liked it.
You did?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Really? Okay. Did you
Mhm.
like it based on the because it was of a religious perspective or just the story?
No, so I liked a lot of the aspects about it that we, kind of take our thing to talk about. And quite frankly, the fact that it's a religious, not that it's a religious aspect, but the fact that it is a Bible story that we all know, and the fact that we all knew what was going to happen at the end was actually the only negative thing that I have to say. And that's only because when you watch something like this and you know exactly where this is going, you know exactly what's about to happen, that's how you watch it. So it took longer to get there than you expect because you're impatiently waiting for this thing to happen. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
You
I
know.
think it felt longer because of it, because it actually was a pretty good length, and the way it was written and told, the story was had a good rhythm to it, but because of the fact that I knew like Jesus is gonna have to be born. Where's this Jesus? You're kind of like waiting for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. And I first of all, I like the fact that, you've never seen a story focused on you always see stories focused on people that are well known in the Bible, like Moses, David, Solomon, and stuff like that. But
Many.
Mary's it's like she's a focal point in the Bible story, but she's not like a
No, she's
focal
just
point.
that, right? She's
She's
just
just
that.
she's just
She,
Mary, you know what
yeah,
I'm
she's
saying?
just the mother, and that's that.
And then
Like,
the story, and then her story just ends. She gives birth to Jesus,
yeah,
and then we don't, and then she just slowly fades away from the story, and then that's it. Probably
exactly.
until the crucifixion that she shows
Yes.
up at the crucifixion, and then
Right.
it's gone. We hear nothing about her. But they've never really focused a story on her, and
Given
so that
her
was
a
what caught my
backstory, sort of,
yeah
right? Yeah,
yeah. So that
exactly.
caught my interest. I was like, oh, there's a story about Mary. So
Yeah,
that was one thing that I really liked about it. And then
absolutely.
obviously a lot of the things about her is not in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was one of the criticisms people had was like, well, where's this in the Bible and stuff like you guys are just making things up. Well, I
Yeah.
don't think they would make it, they don't necessarily making things up because Mary had to have been born to a family.
Right, right.
She just didn't
That's
show
why,
up.
but that's what you're saying is very, very that's like a very big topic because think about it. It really is that she was just there to have Jesus.
Mhm.
And her entire life leading up to it doesn't really exist.
Exactly. And I'm just like, and I think the mistake we all make is when, whether we're religious or we're not religious, is that we tend to put a lot of these characters in the Bible on such a pedestal, and we
Mhm.
forget that they're human beings
They're all
too.
humans.
They're all
Yes.
human beings too. They have a past. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They were born to a family.
They had a
They got
moment of
sick.
doubt. They had a moment of difficulty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had difficulties. They had fears. They had anxieties. They
they
went
had
to
to be
mommy and be like,
forgiven. Like,
exactly. They went to
yeah,
mommy, crying to mommy for
yeah.
whatever reason. They went to daddy. Daddy spanked them. You know, they have, they have, and so I don't mind them creating what might have been, given the period and the
No.
time.
And yes, and maybe it hasn't been told in the story as is. But for the most part, some of those historic parts that happened around Mary were in the Bible. And then also based on what we know about that time,
Mhm.
this is what made sense. Does that, you know, like it
Yeah,
just like maybe they didn't say it this way, but it made sense. Like you said, she would have been born to someone like, and the fact that they kind of already saw Gabriel, by the way, one of my favorite moments, I think, is the first time Gabriel disappears and he just does this like he
yeah,
basically
yeah.
turns into
I
that
like that. I
that
like that.
sheet. But the fact that they all saw him, that like the whole group of like the way they actually like believed further into this is because like I saw him too and then he disappeared. Like that's how this whole string goes. Like it made sense. I thought it was told very well. I thought it was a very good idea.
I like the when you said Gabriel, I like the fact I like when Joseph is just going to just use his the sling and the rock to like catch a bird or something like that, and he's
It's
going down the riverbank, and Gabriel stands there in front and be like, "Nah, you can go hunt down over that
yeah,
corner,"
yeah, go
which
over
is
there. It's better over
yeah,
there.
and then there's something better that you can hunt over there, which essentially is saying like, yo, you have to go meet Mary. That's what you should
Yeah,
be hunting.
and it was so well done too because it wasn't something crazy or magical or out of this world. Like he didn't tell him you are about to meet like it was like a light push, like a slow, subtle guide. And I think that is sort of how this works, right? And we sometimes expect all these ginormous gestures and miracles, but it's these little things, it's these little decisions of I'll take another route today, or I'll go to a different grocery store, and damn, you meet the love of your life, or what, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's how I think it happens for a lot of people. Because
Yeah.
and then you think back on it, be like, you know what? What if I hadn't gone to that
Yes.
grocery store? I wouldn't have met
Yes.
you. Or what if I hadn't broken up with this person or this person hadn't broken up with me?
Exactly. I couldn't be here right
And
now.
I'm crying and all that, and then I
Hmm.
meet you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was what I got from that scene was like, sometimes, we don't see whatever you believe in, if you believe in, luck or whatever, but for us Christians, you believe that God is working one way or another, and you don't see it because He's like, "Yo, get out of the way! I'm trying to kill that
Yeah.
bird." And
And that's kind of, yeah, exactly. And that kind of leads into this whole, when a lot of people tell you, this is like one of my go-to phrases is like, whatever happens, it happens for a reason. And so sometimes bad things will happen to you so that 3, 5 years later, something amazing can happen that wouldn't have otherwise happened, right? Because you would have gone
exactly,
the other way. And in this case too, like I don't know, was he hungry? Was he trying to get the duck because he was hungry, maybe?
I guess
He's
so.
like, well, damn, now I have like lost my dinner, but there's Mary. You know what I
There's
mean?
Mary, and
Bigger picture.
and then he's running after her, and she's like, "Dude, you're
Oh,
crazy! Like, what's your problem?"
okay.
You know
That
what I'm
was my
saying?
favorite scene. That
Yeah,
was that was my favorite scene when they showed her by the river with the yellow thing, and it was so pretty. It was so well done. Like the coloring and everything
that was
was
very
so
pretty.
pretty, and then they were just adorable. It was cute. It was like,
Actually, my favorite scene, well, my two favorite scenes was the first time, and here's another thing. I like that they're telling her story from a different perspective, but then I also think they were trying to mirror what's going to happen to Jesus.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know that, when during Jesus's fast, when he goes into solitude and is fasting in the desert, Satan appears to him to tempt him.
Mhm.
But here, Satan appears to Mary while
Yeah, he's
she's in the
already
service of
trying to
he has
destroy
already
Jesus
tried.
before he's
And so
born.
he appears to her and he's trying to tempt her. And then Angel Gabriel comes there and
Stops it.
tells Lucifer to like get away from her, flee from her or
That's
something.
true. That was a very good scene,
I
especially
love
because
that
it
scene.
doesn't become clear until the end that this
Hmm.
isn't like then she's just suddenly alone there, but like it was very real. Like,
Yes,
you know what I mean? At
yes,
first
yes.
I thought something bad was about to happen to her because some bad guy shows up, and then you find out it's Lucifer. I thought
It's
it was
Lucifer. Yeah. So, and that was when he came there to protect her, like Lucifer, get away from her. And he remember he called Lucifer brother.
yeah.
Angel Gabriel
Yeah.
called him brother. Get away from her. You know what I'm saying? So I like that part. And then the second part was when he she she goes to that little chapel with the candles and she's questioning God, like, yo, you're revealing all
Mhm.
this stuff to these people, but
You're
nothing to me.
talking to
Like,
everyone but me.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not talking to me. What's
Because,
going on? Then she falls
yeah.
asleep and then she wakes up and the angel Gabriel is there and tells her,
Yeah.
don't be afraid. I'm here to deliver a message to you that, you're gonna blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Then she wakes up and be like, oh, did that really happen and stuff?
Uh-oh.
I love that scene. I love how it was shot in a very dark way with little lights, and you almost feel like this is a horror scene. And then he comes there and says, "Don't be afraid. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like the way Angel Gabriel was depicted. And I like how he's subtle in subtle ways. He appears when he needs to appear to like deliver the message that God wants,
Hmm.
or to do, to protect her that first
Hmm.
time the temptation comes. And another thing that her character did when we meet her when she's like a teenager and she's working in the because she's been dedicated to serve God in the temple. She sees this beggar out there on, like on the, and then she grabs everybody's leftover foods and goes to feed him. And then I was like, oh, this is another thing and you see that
Hmm.
she's feeding everybody from the basket. I'm like, this is mirroring what Jesus is going to do.
Yeah.
So, are they trying to tell us that obviously we know the first teacher of a child is the mother, that she's
Hmm.
teaching him, love and kindness and all that kind of stuff. And then, or it's just, they're just using that as, it's just mirrored that, hey, this is
So
what Jesus is going to do.
I think what it definitely did, what the movie definitely did, which I for one really truly appreciate, is that like we said, she was only like it's the whole thing that women get really upset about right now. Like you're only a mother, you're just a mother. Like it's more than just birthing the child. Like she has been already chosen because of the kindness in her, right?
Mhm.
And then there comes a new level of something that happens with us women once we have a child. There's a whole new person being born then, you know?
Mhm.
But usually if you're already full of kindness and then your unconditional love for the child, I think all of this, like it just has so much more influence
Mhm.
than just giving birth to it. Like, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think that's what they did. They kind of gave her a lot more importance in the whole story.
And it's funny that you said that because there's two scenes where she actually like highlighted what you just said. The first time when after her and Joseph had gotten married and they're like journeying away and they're camped out and then she's like rubbing her belly and then she said, I will protect you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then after she's giving birth to Jesus, she's looking down at him and she said, like, you chose me and I choose
I
you.
choose you.
I
Yeah.
choose you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's, you see that, take away the biblical or the spiritual significance of that birth, you see just a mother with the child. And I
Yeah.
think what this movie does is, because, so obviously if you're in Catholic faith, Mary's, I don't want to say she's been deified by the Catholics or she's been elevated. You know what I'm
She's a
saying?
little more, yeah, she's a little more mentioned and a little more important. And the
Important. Oh,
countries that are Catholic, women are also way more celebrated. Like we
okay.
just example being like be the Women's Day, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy celebrated where I'm from.
So, yeah. So, for those of you who are Catholics, if you have more, if you can, be more, if you can explain it better, please do. I'm not Catholic, not yet. I'm planning to convert. But I think this movie humanizes Mary.
Hmm.
It really humanizes it. It shows, and Noa Cohen, the actress who played Mary, showed a lot of vulnerability, showed a lot of feminine and motherly nature, showed a
Hmm.
lot of
While
love.
it was also pretty clear that when all of this started happening to her, she was still a child and she then just flipped and had to grow up, sort of. Did you
Yeah,
notice that?
yeah, yeah,
Like she
yeah.
was literally just this little girl going through a temple and then
Mhm.
suddenly I'm gonna be a mother. Okay, I'm serious now. Like I'm the mother now. Like I'm an
Or
adult,
or
you
I
know?
think I think even before then when they promised her to Joseph,
Yeah.
and
That's when she
she's just like,
matured.
yeah, she's just like, oh, n- I now I'm got I have to stay. I have to be married now.
I have
I
to
have to be
more
a wife now.
responsibility. Yeah.
So I think she just and she and this and I don't know what her age was in the Bible, but I'm sure it's not. She wasn't 20 something when she got married.
No, it wasn't
I'm
like
sure
that
she
back
was a
then. She
teen,
was like
probably a
13 or
teenager,
something. Yeah, like it
probably a
happens.
late teen, maybe like
Yeah.
16, 17 or something like that. And Joseph was probably around the same age, maybe a little older, because that's just the way it was back in those days and stuff like that. So, um, so I think Noah Cohen, she did a great job. I don't know much about her, but I think this role, and her performance will really elevate her as an actress because she showed a lot of she showed different aspects of a woman
Hmm.
in this role.
Yeah, she showed a
She
lot of
showed
range.
strength. She showed
Hmm.
some strength. She showed vulnerability. She showed love. She showed a lot of motherly and wifely affection and she
Yeah.
wrapped up all of that emotion into one character in her
Mhm.
performance. Very, very impressive.
Yeah,
That's
she
why,
did
yeah, she did a
fear,
good job.
sadness, confidence, everything. Like she did amazing. I thought
Yeah.
so.
And there was a little bit
Very,
of
very pretty girl too.
she's very beautiful. And there's a little bit of a comedy there. Remember when they were first doing the engagement? And then she was like, "Oh, so you're the guy at the water." And then they have little comedy, they have little funny
I know
moments.
they had this like meet cute, like it was actually really cute,
Yeah, it was.
and heartwarming how they met and how they got together, and I thought that was cool that it gave them this like realness to a relationship too, while at the same time, um, from a lot of skeptics, whenever you have a skeptic that's questioning everything about the Bible, right? One of their go-to things is like, oh, why would Joseph just like hang out with her? She's obviously has someone else's child, that kind of thing. Like, and so I like that they've addressed that. They have really addressed the fact that there she shows up. It's obviously not his.
Hmm.
And then this whole battle that comes with the fact of like, okay, we are all choosing to believe that she is a virgin and that this happened, and then everybody saw Gabriel, um like but you could see him struggle with it, like at least twice he was like, I don't know how to.
Well, I think that's what they should have. They didn't show the fact that Gabriel even talked to him about this.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like what's in her. I think I forgot the passage in the Bible where it says he appeared to him in the dream because he had already in the Bible he denies he's not going to marry her because of that. And then Gabriel appeared to him in the dream and told him like, don't be afraid to take her as your wife. What's in her is of the Lord's doing. It's the Holy Spirit or whatever
Yeah.
that you should do this. So I think I thought they were going to do that. They didn't show it. It seemed like he just came to that realization on his own,
Hmm.
which you're taking away from Gabriel's impact again,
I
or
think they
God's impact.
showed. Yeah, no, that's right, because they skipped over it. There was all this like talking about her, like, don't you know that your girl is pregnant, blah
Hmm.
blah blah. And then he sees her, and they tell him to stone her.
Hmm.
Didn't
And
it?
that's Satan there, egging up the
Yeah,
mob. That was
yeah,
Satan egging up the mob right there. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So I
uh,
feel like that was maybe the moment, or somewhere in between there, it would have already happened, because he was looking for her not to hurt
condemn
her. He
her.
was already looking for her, I think, to find out what the hell, like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I
So
mean?
I think, but you remember
What
when
the
he got
hell is a bad choice
Yeah,
of words?
I think it happened when remember when he got knocked out and then he was coming to and then he saw like just a silhouette of Gabriel as he was coming to. I think that's when it might have happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wish they had really shown that in a way they had shown Gabriel coming to Mary and telling her she's gonna give birth to Jesus. I think Joseph should have had that moment too. And they didn't give him that moment. But let's talk about Anthony Hopkins.
Amazing performance.
Now here's my
Amazing
thing. Here's
performance.
my thing.
Hmm.
If I was casting this movie, I probably wouldn't have selected him to play this role. I probably would have gone with another actor. But Anthony Hopkins gives a masterful performance as King Herod. Like, wow.
Hmm.
You see a dictator, you see someone who's paranoid, you see someone who's insecure, you see someone who is attention seeking, you see someone who's just a tyrant. I mean, you see everything in that performance
Yeah.
that Anthony Hopkins gave. And
Yeah.
you can just and you can see like, oh, okay, I know why you are paranoid about,
Hmm.
the Jews not liking you,
Yeah.
or Jesus being born and he's actually the Messiah and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was a
Both.
masterful performance.
Yeah, I thought so too. Both with every word and how he delivered every single word was so meticulously chosen.
Yeah.
Like every word, but also the non-dialogue scenes is just how he carried himself alone. Like everything that he did, every facial expression that he did was just I don't know if it's just some actors probably really do meticulously think this through. Like I'm not one of those people, like or not yet maybe, where I literally think through like which way am I gonna look? What am I gonna do with my hand? Like it just looked like he had everything perfectly calculated and it was just spot on. Like it was just amazing.
Well,
I
Anthony
thought,
Hopkins,
and I know he's a good actor, yet I'm still amazed by him
yeah.
in this performance.
I think one the secret to Anthony Hopkins's performance is that years ago I saw an interview of him, and he said one of the ways he tries to develop his characters is like he tries to figure out what animal they are like. You know
Oh.
what I'm saying? So it's so like let's take and Hannibal Lecter for example. You know what I'm saying? Hannibal Lecter to him, he said that was a cat.
Hmm.
And so he played Hannibal Lecter like a cat, maybe not like your pet cat or anything like that.
Right,
Maybe
right.
more like a tiger or a leopard or
Mhm.
something like that. But just and you can see the way he was always looking. He was always like just
Looking, the
yeah,
movement.
like
Yeah.
he's through the bushes looking at his prey just like a wild cat, and that's how he played Hannibal Lecter. I don't know what animal if he did do it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I don't know if he used that kind of technique for King Herod. I don't know what animal that would have been. Maybe it would have been a
Something
lion or
really
something.
prideful.
Yeah. And one thing I like about it is that he's also losing. He played it. He's also losing a sense of reality.
Hmm.
Remember at the end when he's like, "Is that the Messiah? Is that the Messiah?" And everybody just leaves him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you start to figure out, were those
Just
babies
lost his
there?
mind.
Yeah, he's just lost his mind. He's so power hungry. He's so paranoid, and he's just lost all sense of reality. And the only thing I didn't like, the only thing how do you think? How do you the killing of the babies? How they depicted that? What do you think about that? Like, how do you like the
I actually I actually watched it and when he was in his chamber with all the babies, I had to like d do a double take where I'm like, so wait, did they bring all the babies or did they kill all the babies? Like now I'm not sure. Like they kind of, which I think is probably for the better that they didn't show me a
they didn't
bunch of
show it?
baby killing. Like I wouldn't have.
I would have. Okay, so you remember the scene in Game of Thrones when in the second season, first episode when they were killing all of Robert Baratheon's bastards.
I'm trying to remember what that looked like.
So remember they went first of all they got the prostitute and it to kill the baby and he just like give it here and he just stabbed and then they started going around town then killing all
Yeah,
the babies, killing all the kids and stuff like that.
yeah.
So they didn't show them killing the baby, but you can
Right.
see the blood and the
You
knife
know
going,
it's
but
happening. It was clear that it's
yeah,
happening,
you know what's
not as
happening.
much with
So
this. Yeah.
that's actually where they got the story from for Game of Thrones, because in Game of Thrones they call that the killing of Robert's bastards, but
Hmm.
in the Bible that situation is called the killing of the innocent. So
Hmm.
I would have done it the same way Game of Thrones did it, say
Yeah.
just to depict how, because I think they filmed it in
Because
such
they
an
did, they showed the taking away of all the
yeah
babies.
they
And
took
that's
they
kind of
took.
the thing. And then there's all these babies in his
I don't
temple.
think those
And I
babies.
was
I don't
like,
think those babies are there. I don't think they're there. I think that's just because remember now he's
oh, okay.
so
I
yeah. I think they're trying to.
see.
I think what they're trying to say is
Because
what
they
they're trying
said
to
that's when they tell him, like, they tell him, we, yeah, no, I
we
can't.
can't find. But remember
Yeah.
now, when he's becoming paranoid, you can hear the babies crying, and I think that's what's get. I think the sin. I think that's got to be the ultimate sin he has committed, because
Hmm.
he doesn't. You don't come back from something like if you
Hmm.
order the deaths of that many babies. You've gone down a dark hole that you can never come out from. It's
Yeah.
you can never.
So
And I think the
tell
baby's
me,
crying was just a way to like, like, oh, you're answer now you're gonna answer for the trauma you've just caused, and that's
hmm
about to fall upon you. So I don't think those babies, in my interpretation, I don't think they were there. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
that makes more sense to me
Yeah.
now.
So in other words, they couldn't show the killing of the babies, obviously. So they had to bring the babies there to now
Hmm
to now highlight his guilt. Like this is what
Okay.
you've done. You know what I'm saying? And now
Yeah,
you're going down the dark path. And
like
he
this is what you've done, yet the one you were looking for is still out there.
is still out there, and you
There's nothing
failed.
you can do now. Yeah,
You
on
failed.
many levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me what you think the eye contact whenever he orders that. He orders that and he tells Marcellus, is it?
The Marcellus, yeah, the
Yeah, to
bodyguard or
go
something like
and
that.
do that. And so his at the time wife and Marcellus do like a eye contact thing, and you can't really tell, is it already like he's lost his mind, don't do it, like this is crazy? Or
Ah,
are they afraid to step against him? But
I
they
think
did
it's
like very clearly have like a
I think
moment.
it's I think it's both. I think because Marcellus does is like, well, we only just want to kill one baby, but he's telling him like, yo, kill every baby. And
Yeah,
Marcellus
kill
is like,
every baby and bring that one alive. It made no
yeah,
sense
it
already.
makes no sense. So I think he's looking at her and be like, yeah, he's lost his mind, but
If we step
we're
against
afraid.
him right now, we're dead too,
Yeah, we're afraid to
right?
step in and say, bruh, you're losing your mind.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna
yeah,
do this. So I think it's both. I think it's both.
yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy because I'm just like, yeah, you've gone haywire at
Hmm
that point. So yeah, Marcellus was like, and Marcellus, but let's talk about the scene where, the first time when he meets Mary, when Herod meets Mary, and then he stares into her eyes,
Yeah,
and then he
and
has a
that's
little,
when he starts doubting himself. That's when he
yes.
starts
Oh,
like,
you think that's what it depicts, that he's doubted himself?
mhm. Something happened. They literally said like he started acting really weird all of a sudden. Like, what did you do? What
Yeah.
is your magic or whatever?
Yeah, I thought he just saw
Maybe he saw his future.
I thought he saw the future in her eyes.
Mhm.
And then he got spooked. But
She
I
didn't
like
even
your
know
interpret.
it yet.
Yeah, but I think I like your interpretation. Like that's the moment he starts doubting himself. And he's just like, oh, and that's when his behavior starts to like deteriorate.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
after that. So
So there
yeah, I
was a
like that.
trigger of
I
some
didn't see
sort.
that. I didn't think of it that way, but that's it. All in all, I think this was a very good movie.
So what I liked, one more thing that I think was a good choice that, and I think a lot of the times when we do talk about the Bible, and a lot of the times people are just kind of picturing it a very specific way because of pictures that we've seen, because of all of this that's been around for centuries. But the fact that Gabriel was not in a white gown with like feathery wings or whatever, that they did the way they chose his look, I think it was pretty thought through, the blue robe and everything. Like it just seemed, and that he looked for the most part just like a person, but just disappeared in his like magical way.
Hmm.
I
I
did not sit down and Google search significance of the color blue other than royal, but I thought it felt like there was a significance to it because
hmm.
like there was all the colors, like all the robes, everybody had a different color clothing, like there was all the colors were in it. The blue was like specifically chosen for him.
I like what I really like about the whole casting was that they casted everyone that how other depictions of that period would probably just have like all white, mostly white actors and stuff like that. This one had what everyone would have looked like in that period at that time.
Except for the king, Anthony Hopkins, he was a little too
Well,
white,
I
I
mean,
think.
who's to say there wasn't a white Middle Eastern person at that point? Who's to say?
Blue eyes, really?
Okay, maybe not blue eyes. Maybe not blue eyes. Maybe not blue
No,
eyes.
I'm messing, but yeah,
But
no,
what's
I
but
do,
what?
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, look at the three wise men, different shades of color.
Mhm.
Mary, she looks Middle Eastern. Joseph looks Middle
She looks
Eastern.
exactly, she looks like
The
long
messenger is a
hair.
black guy. Um, Angel Gabriel looks kind of like Ethiopian in a way. You know what I'm saying? You had different shades of color, and I think those it's just depicting the period. The significance of the colors, so I was more focused on Mary's colors. You know, first she's with the red, then yellow. Um, I I really can't picture. I don't know what the significance of the colors were to show. Maybe there was some of it to show
It
Mary's
might have
pure.
just been aesthetically pleasing, and the
It
blue
might have been
hope
because
for
the
yeah,
yellow
yes,
was
right? That
the
was
yellow
incredible.
was
I
the
don't, there was
yellow was
something about
awesome.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but Gabriel's
Beautiful.
blue, I
I don't know. It could have
I
been
don't
just
know.
royalty. It could have been heavenly colors. It could have been just he was specifically blue because when they talk about him as the guy in blue, maybe blue was a rare color back then. Like, I mean, they did dye their stuff naturally, so you know.
I don't know. Well, probably that's something we have to look into. But sorry, we couldn't get that answer for this podcast and stuff like that. So, what's one thing that you did not like or that you would have loved to change in the film?
I really don't I really don't know. Like again, other than the fact that I was sort of I had moments where I sat there being like, all right, when's Jesus coming kind of thing, like not in like a weird way. It's just like when you're watching a story that you know it's gonna end in a specific place,
Hmm.
you're waiting for that to happen. And I think subconsciously I did. But no, I liked pretty much everything about it. Again, this the baby thing confused me a little. But it makes more sense now that like I think your version with the fact that the babies weren't actually there and I just didn't pick up on that. So maybe you could make that a little more clear that that was just his vision because I think
Hmm.
a lot of the times when you're only picturing something or you're dreaming of something and you wake up and it was a dream, like it has different colors, it's hazy, it's whatever it is, right? To
Hmm.
make it clear. But then again, this is maybe just dumb of me that I didn't figure that out. I don't know.
Hey, sometimes the director doesn't do a good job of explaining things. All
No,
right, so
I
what I
like
didn't
it.
really like about it, and what I this is what I don't like about the Jesus story, is Joseph is always a footnote in the story. Joseph is always a footnote in the
I
story.
thought he was really heroic in this story.
Well, they did do a better job. This version did a better job in
Yeah, they
highlighting
made
Joseph.
sure he's very good. He's so
Yeah,
kind and loving. Like he was obviously pure. And then he was extremely heroic. I thought they
he
made a
was.
point to make him extremely heroic.
He
Like
was.
he
But
saved her life multiple times
yes, yes.
and he like threw himself out there, if I die, I die, but
Yeah, but you have to survive. But I still think he's still a footnote in the story, which I don't like because it almost seems like, oh, he's just there. Like he's an important part of this story too. And you don't,
like
and you just don't hear enough about him. And like I said, this movie did a better job of highlighting him, but I still think it fell short. First of all, they didn't show the part that Gabriel appeared to him and convinced him to marry Mary. I think that's an important aspect to show when he does come
yeah,
into that when he
they made it look like he made that choice himself out of his own pure kindness and love for
kindness,
her.
yeah, and we know that's not true. That he was told by Gabriel that
Yeah.
this is the reason why Mary's pregnant and you have to be the father. Um, they didn't show him as a carpenter. It was almost like he was a brick. He was working like a
Yeah, I don't
stonemason.
know what they were doing out there. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I'm just
very
like, what
clear to
is he?
me what they were
Was he a
doing out
construction
there.
worker or something? Like
That's,
he's a
I guess that's
carpenter.
maybe what it was.
No, he's
That's
a
what it
carpenter.
looked like.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, he's a carpenter. Like what
Yeah.
the like, they didn't show that part. And what else? Yeah, I think that was now I don't know how this is true. So is it just with the courting thing? You just see the girl, you like her, and you just go to her parents like, I want to marry your daughter. Is it that easy? Is it like that?
No, he was gonna say no. He was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say
mean,
no
yeah.
until they
Until
brought
he
up
told
the
the blue man, the
yeah,
Gabriel
yeah,
was
yeah,
what
yeah.
important.
About
Yeah,
the
yeah.
blue, yes.
Obviously, Joseph didn't know that was Gabriel. He
But
just thought he just
back in the day, he was not like allowed to ask Mary, "Do you want to be with me?" No, he would have to go to the father and ask for the hand.
so let's touch on this part now. Do you think in the dating world today that needs to go back to that or some semblance of that?
No.
No,
Look, no.
you don't think so?
I no, I just so the woman didn't have a choice
Yeah. Mhm.
back then. Like
Mhm.
in her case, she was lucky enough that this was a good guy. Like this could have been anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could have been Theon Greyjoy. Like
Well, did they not have a choice, or they,
no, no,
really?
she didn't want to at first. She was like, "That's crazy. I'm staying at the temple." And they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"No, you got to do this."
yeah. We've
And then she
promised
was
you.
lucky enough that he was, in fact, kind of cute and, not a complete
Yeah,
asshole. Like,
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
but what I
Because
did find interesting, you just reminded me, her mom was at the birth.
yes, and the Bible doesn't.
And the
It,
aunt? Was that the
and the
aunt?
which one?
The other one, right? The one that just had a baby. Where's her
Yeah,
baby? She had a baby? Then she
yeah. Her
shows
baby
up.
is John the Baptist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was John the Baptist.
Where was he though?
Remember, I don't know where he was. Maybe it's with the
Well,
dad.
she just left him behind to
He
come
just left
help
him.
to give birth
Yeah,
to Mary.
yeah.
Like that was confusing. And I
Yeah,
mean, don't get me wrong. I would want my mom there if I could. Like for moments like this, you want your mom, but that was weird that she was there. That doesn't seem right. It just felt like it was just them
yeah. I will. I mean,
and they had no one
maybe there
else.
was another midwife around town that was there to help out and stuff like that. So,
I
I've
don't
seen one.
know.
I've seen.
They wouldn't even let them in anywhere. I don't see if they're making them sit in a barn. I don't see how they're gonna come help.
Well, I've seen another version of the story where there was a midwife that came along to help out. I don't know if she was actually a midwife, but she was a lady that knew that helped them find the manger, and then she went there to help them and stuff like that. So I don't know why they have the aunt there and then the mom there. I don't. I was just like, I don't know, but
It felt
guess
like maybe it was like giving more women a role in the story, you know?
you know what? But now that you mention it, it seems
Because I
like
think the whole point of the story was a little bit that the women are really important because without women, Jesus wouldn't have been born.
so.
Without women, you wouldn't have been born. Like that's kind of the story, right? And
But
so
it's
bringing
also it also so in other words what they're so this is coming from so they're in other words they're saying that this is a woman's perspective on Jesus's birth, and they're saying the importance of women's role in Jesus's life. You know what I'm saying? His aunt, his mom, his grandma, you know what I'm saying?
the lady at the temple.
Yeah, the lady at the temple, all that kind of stuff. So obviously, like I said, the Bible doesn't tell us all this in specifically, but these are possibilities that could have happened. We don't know. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? We're just going off of what would have, the period and what, how people lived in the
Yeah.
period and how things, customs and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's just like, you ever seen Ten Commandments? You've never seen Ten Commandments about Moses?
Mm-mm, I don't think so.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're gonna have to watch that this Easter. You're gonna watch that this Easter.
I don't see. I avoid these types of movies because
Nah,
they usually make me
we're
weak.
gonna, no, no, we're going to unbox that one.
Oh God, no.
We're gonna unbox that one. That's coming up, and that's coming up that's in April. So I mean, you can watch it on I think you can rent it on YouTube and watch the whole thing. It's pretty long. It's like almost 3 hours or something like that.
That reminds me. I never looked up the film that I was gonna recommend for next week
Past
if
Lives.
where I can watch it. I didn't
It's
double
on
check.
Amazon Prime. It's on Prime.
Okay. All
It's a
right.
Prime movie. Yeah. So overall, what do you give this movie?
Um, I'm probably gonna stick with a 6. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 6 too.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6. Don't well, apart from that, the Joseph thing, I think the script there could be a little bit more. It seemed like there could have been a little bit more.
Well,
And
and that's again, I think that goes back to the whole we know where this is going, so it felt a little elongated. But without knowing what the ending was going to be, and without knowing the story sort of already, I think the pacing was okay.
No, the pacing was fine. I just think there was just a lot left on out of it that could have been in there. Even though
Mm.
if you kind of like made a lot of it up, I think you could have there could have been a lot more that you could have
Yeah.
added to it to give it a little bit more juice to it. Um, there was a little bit of some action scenes there. Like, I don't remember the Bible story having that, but hey, it made for good viewership. But yeah, I'll give it a 6. The main criticism is on Joseph. The way they depicted Joseph, they did a good job, better than the other depictions of Jesus's
Oh,
birth that
Joseph was cute. Like, let's not forget.
I wasn't looking at Joseph like that. I'm looking at Mary. I'm looking at Mary. I'm looking at Mary.
See, I can
Mary was cute.
appreciate that Mary was beautiful.
Mary is very beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
But I
And
think they did that. They even made a joke about it that the mom said, "Well, he's like really easy on the eyes," and she's like, "Yes, fine, he's very handsome, mother."
yes,
Like,
yes. So
that
she's
was
like,
cute.
thank God. So
Right.
you think women that were in like arranged marriages are like praying like, oh my God, please let him be at least decent looking,
Yes.
please.
Yes. Imagine him being a really gross old fat guy. And then it's like, here you go. You just gotta sleep around with him. Like, that's just tough luck.
That's
Yes.
crazy. That's crazy.
Thank
Well,
you.
I guess for the sake of women, thank heavens that you're in a period where you can make that choice.
Right.
You can make that choice. But somehow some women make the wrong choices, you know.
To
But anyway,
each
I
their
think
own, man. To each their
family
own.
helping you out, helping you to make that choice is still important.
Well, and I think like asking the dad still is still
Oh
pretty
yeah, 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 yeah.
prominent a lot of places
Oh
and
yeah, oh yeah. You gotta still ask the dad. Yeah. Did your husband ask your dad? Oh,
mm-mm.
okay.
No, my dad was pretty upset, but that's a long story. Because we're traditional in Poland still, but my
Oh,
dad himself
I got.
isn't. So
Oh man, you
there's
gotta tell me
also
about.
there's a language barrier.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool. Anyway, so the next film we're gonna be unboxing is Past Lives.
Yes,
Okay,
bye. And I opened it up. It closed again. I meant
it's
to
on
say
Prime. I
because
started what?
it is directed by a woman, and I thought that was really cool.
Okay,
I haven't seen it. I don't know much about it yet, but yes, the director is Celine Song. She
okay,
wrote and directed it. So since we're doing the whole there really is not that many female directors apparently. So I would like to honor that since it's March still, so you know.
let's go with it. I've seen a little bit of the film. I never finished it. I think
I
probably
just saw
like
photos and it looked beautiful. It looks like a piece of art, so I'm very, very curious.
it's good. It's when I started it, it was pretty good. I don't know why I just stopped and forgot about it. But now that you mentioned it, I'm like, okay, gotta go back and watch it again and finish it. So
Give it a
I'm look
try.
I'm
What
looking forward to
happens?
talking about it next week. So guys, that's it for us today. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave comments. Have you seen the movie Mary? What do you think about our reasons why we like it and reason that we don't, we might not, whatever the criticism we might have about it, let us know in the comments. And subscribe to the channel. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.